And then the one who was the most important in their gang said to Tanisha, "Listen here, black monkey, when a white man addresses you, and repeat what you just said. You ever have one of those moments where somebody thinks they can disrespect you just because they can? Like your existence is somehow a challenge to their ego? Let me tell you, what happened on that stairwell changed everything. My name's Bree, 21, poli-sci major, and this ain't my story, but it's about two of my best friends. Two women who handled themselves like queens when some clowns thought they could play king. It was a Wednesday, mid-semester, warm enough for crop tops, cold enough for hoodies tied around the waist. Me, Anua, and Tanisha had just finished our evening seminar and split up. Anua and Tanisha took the south stairwell up to the dorms. That old building, the one with the echo? Yeah, that one. Anyway, they were laughing about some dumb joke when they heard the voices. 3 white boys on the landing, Chase, Brett, and Logan. You probably know the type without me saying much. White baseball caps, smug grins, and money they never earned. All 3 from oil money, hedge fund daddies, and legacy admissions. Never worked a day in their life but swear they built the school. When they saw Anua and Tanisha walking up, it started instantly. Damn, what we got here. Y'all looking fine tonight. Why don't you come hang with some real men? Anua rolled her eyes. We're good, Tanisha added. Real men don't corner women on staircases. Now here's where it flipped, because when black women say no, with clarity, with confidence, some dudes take that personal. Brett stepped forward, voice tightening. You don't gotta act like you're better than us. Logan laughed. Nah, they just used to getting passed around by the basketball team. Then Chase dropped it. Typical ghetto attitude, ungrateful. Y'all should be happy we even noticed you. That's when Tanisha stopped walking. She turned, calm, collected. But that fire, you could feel it. Repeat that. Chase grinned like it was a game. Y'all act like you're royalty or something. You're just loudmouth stinky jungle. He didn't even finish, because in 1 second flat, Tanisha closed the distance. Chase reached out like he was gonna grab her wrist, and smack. Right across his face. Not hard enough to break bones, just hard enough to snap reality back into place. His head jerked. The whole stairwell echoed. And now, all that fake confidence? Gone. Anua stepped forward too. Not swinging. Just standing, shoulders square, back straight. They didn't need to fight. They just made it clear. They could. The white boys froze. All that entitlement melted real quick, because for the first time they weren't in control. And these girls weren't scared. Then the footsteps came. People upstairs and downstairs had heard the yelling. Students started showing up, 2 at the top, a couple coming up from the lobby. And what they saw? 3 white guys looking shook, 2 black girls not backing down. Phones came out, not to post, but to protect. That's the new generation. We record everything. Chase tried to recover, wiping his cheek. She assaulted me. Tanisha raised her eyebrow. You tried to grab me. We got witnesses. Brett muttered, This is over nothing. Let's just go. And just like that, they left. Didn't run, didn't talk tough, just walked off, silent, humiliated. But the story didn't end there, because campus news moves fast. By the next morning, everybody knew. The stairwell, the slap, the slurs, the grab, all of it. And the thing is, it wasn't even about the slap. It was about the disrespect, the assumption that black women are just supposed to take it, laugh it off, let it slide, that if we stand up, we're aggressive, if we defend ourselves, we're hostile. Nah, not that day, not ever again. Tanisha and Anua didn't post anything. They didn't have to. People who were there, they spoke up. Tweets, group chats, Anonymous report to the Dean of Students. I saw one message that read, "How are these boys still on campus when they're cornering women and using racial slurs like it's normal?" Within 24 hours, the Title IX office had 3 formal complaints. By day 3, there were 12. Turns out Chase had a record. Not official, but whispers. Girls who had been made uncomfortable at parties, rude comments in class, professors brushing it off as just his personality. But this time, there were witnesses, videos, screenshots of DMs he sent trying to blame Tanisha after the fact. That was the final nail. By the end of the week, Chase was placed on emergency suspension pending investigation. Logan and Brett issued campus no-contact orders, couldn't attend events, couldn't show up in shared spaces with any of the women who filed complaints. Their frat? Put under review. But let me tell you what mattered more than any of that. The way the campus responded to Anua and Tanisha. Before, they were just 2 students, smart, funny, focused. But after, they became symbols. Not because they wanted to be, but because we needed them to be. Professors invited them to speak at a panel on harassment and power dynamics. The Women of Color student group asked them to co-lead a workshop. Seniors started nodding to them in passing like they were royalty. And I'll never forget this. One day, 2 weeks after everything went down, a freshman came up to Tanisha in the dining hall. She had tears in her eyes. "I've been scared to walk past certain dorms at night," she said. "But watching you stand up for yourself, it helped me speak up too." That's impact. That's how change starts. Not with a protest sign, not with a press release, but with a moment, a voice, a slap if that's what it takes. Tanisha? She's studying law now, wants to specialize in gender and race discrimination, says if she has to sit in a courtroom one day and defend another girl who went through what she did, she'll be ready. Anua's going for her master's in sociology, working on a thesis about the intersection of race and campus safety. These girls didn't just survive it, they flipped it. So let that stairwell be a lesson. To the ones who think power comes from daddy's wallet or a last name on a donation plaque, it don't. Real power is standing tall when someone tries to shrink you, holding your voice when they try to shut you up, and making sure the world remembers your name, not for what happened to you, but for how you made sure it would never happen again. That's what Anua and Tanisha did, and that's why everybody on that campus walks a little different now, because they set the bar. And they ain't done. And let me say this loud, for every Black girl listening. You don't owe anyone your silence. You don't owe them your smile when they're crossing boundaries. You don't owe them softness in the face of violence. You don't owe them polite when they're being dangerous. See, what Tanisha and Anua did? That wasn't just self-defense. That was ancestral. That was the echo of women who had to hold their pain in silence for generations, finally saying not today. When those boys came with entitlement, with that tired playbook of control and domination, they thought they were going to intimidate 2 Black girls into shrinking. But what they ran into was legacy. The legacy of Harriet, of Sojourner, of Ida B. Wells, of every mother, sister, auntie, and daughter who survived systems built to break them. And I ain't exaggerating, because in that moment, on that cold concrete stairwell, Anua and Tanisha weren't just 2 students. They were proof. Proof that we can protect ourselves, that we can own our space, that we don't have to ask for respect. We demand it. And when they try to twist the story, we bring the receipts, the community, and the consequences. The culture we come from, it doesn't back down. We build, we lead, we defend. We don't just survive, we transform. So the next time someone tries to test you, remember this. You come from women who built nations while carrying babies on their backs. You come from fire that doesn't burn out. It refines. And when the world acts like you're supposed to be quiet, show them exactly what happens when a Black woman uses her voice. Because trust me, once it's heard, ain't no going back. And that's why we're proud, not just of Anwa and Tanisha, but of every single one of us who walks through this world with our head high, our spirit intact, and our boundaries firm. That's power. That's legacy. That's Black womanhood.